We also have some B2B related questions. One of them, maybe for Frida, are there any trends for LinkedIn and business to business?
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn is absolutely growing and it's super strong for business to business. Yeah, I would absolutely. So, I mean, but still, it's important to, even if you're working with business to business or business to consumer, I mean, the person buying your product or services is still like a human being, a person. So and that person also go home, like log into Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. So I think it's also important to not have them too like far away, because B2B and B2C could absolutely have a more similar strategy. So I mean, for me, for example, like, yes, I mean, within the like B2B tech industry, but I'm also looking into influencer marketing, but then of course I'm not using those influencers that maybe works more with retail. I'm more focused on like thought leaders, maybe active on LinkedIn or active like on events or at different conferences, but not sure if I have a super clear answer, but
for B2B, I think podcasts are a really good thing. So I listen to a lot of podcasts in my specific area. So and there's more and more brand and B2B podcasts out there. So I listen to, for example, product schools podcast, and they're really good. So it's like Facebook product managers, Google product managers, and stuff like that. So that's super interesting, and I like that they have such a big audience as well. So you think it's going to be like 10 people, but it's like thousands and thousands. So it's really cool.
And I think also one important is when you like, if you step into the B2B segment, I think it's so important, and that's something I'm always trying to remind myself, like not only focusing towards a decision maker, but also look at the decision influencers. Yeah. So if you're, for example, if I want to reach a marketing manager that would buy our platform, I obviously also want to reach the entire marketing and communication department, and also sales. So because they are influencing the decision. So that's also something that's really important, even if you're using LinkedIn or Instagram, to really look at the broader. Yeah.
I have a saying that we said on the agencies: make them get high fives. That's if they can't get a high five internally, if you work with like B2B, if they can't get a high five internally and go to their boss and brag about this, then you have not succeeded.
Yeah, so make them internal superheroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good KPI.
Another one. When it comes to B2B marketing, is TikTok a good channel to try, or is LinkedIn a better one, or maybe both?
I would say absolutely to try TikTok. I think it's like different, again, if you're looking at conversion or branding, but I would absolutely try TikTok. We are on TikTok, and I think that every B2B brand should be. What do you think?
Of course. Do you think?
I was thinking, just listening to you, I think what actually could influence the B2B relationship, but being transparent who you are as a company. I would say, okay, I can see you using TikTok for your internal communicating who you actually are as a company. That actually becomes very, very, very natural and so on. Compared to LinkedIn, that's much more corporate. So it's about bringing out the DNA, the culture in your company could be a good way of, as you said, like branding the communication. Yeah.
YouTube's also super important for educational content. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I've seen that succeed also in B2B. So
we use TikTok for internal communication as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Different markets, so many people, just to show each other what we actually do in the day.
And also nurture the culture, I guess, internal. Yeah, cool.
Okay, totally different one. Are hashtags still important as they used to be?
Definitely.
Do you think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Especially in the new media channels where you can belong to a topic. It's not maybe always called a hashtag anymore in all of the, like we always see new social media channels and they have their own take on what to call things. Like the like has been called different things. But hashtags are super important if you think about it in the way where you can find, for example, on TikTok, where the small companies can really own an area and get a huge reach on that area. So I think definitely use all of the tools for that platform to belong into an area and to be thought leaders in that area. And that doesn't matter if you're B2B or B2C.
Yeah, I mean TikTok. I mean, when you go into TikTok and you see like trending or like there's a lot of hashtag. That's actually how it's built to actually search and find. So, but yeah.
We also have a few questions about tools. Here's one. Using tools to check an influencer's stats or true reach was mentioned. Which tools would you suggest are best to use?
Clear.
Obviously.
No, but I think it's. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I think our tool is the best. But I think it's.
To mention again, which is
clear.
yeah.
Clear. No, but I think it's just important to have some tool. So I mean, because when you're stepping into the boardroom or you need to present your figures, you can't only explain like, yeah, my gut feeling, this was a really nice guy, or you need to have the figures supporting why you are collaborating with a micro or macro influencer. And I mean, look at the different tools. We are focusing a lot of like global, but then if you want to go to more like, I don't know, different, search for tools, but start with clear.
Don't forget about the old survey. That's also something like lots of big brands always do brand tracking and also audience trackers, like who belongs to my audience, have you actually seen this advertising, do you remember like any advertisement that has come, have you been at these influencers, blah blah blah, because then you can, in these influencer networks like Cube and all of these, then they have their own tools to estimate your reach. But then if you also do surveying, then you can kind of adjust that. So you get a better number then, closer to the truth.
Another one. What tools do you suggest for brand awareness in Europe?
Right. Do you mean measuring brand awareness, or do you mean
I would
getting?
assume so. I would assume measuring brand awareness in Europe.
I would definitely say I would say that the tool itself is not the most important thing. You can obviously go to ComScore and Kantar and Nielsen. I've been using those a lot. And Meltwater. So and you can also do your own thing. I mean, I've gone to smaller like Blue Carrot and those kind of guys.
Like market research.
Yeah, market research companies. There are a lot of those in different markets, and they are also super nerds on their area and have worked in insight and brand tracking for a very long time. So I would say try it out. Make sure that it makes sense with your numbers, and make sure their recruitment process is good, and the weighting also. So if they don't know what weighting audiences is, or they then it's kind of not the right place to use them.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, even if I'm like in Meltwater and the social listening, and with the Meltwater hat on, and I'm of course also measuring that for our brand, I look at share of voice, because then you can actually look at how many mentions do we get within our audience, and look at the share of voice towards competitors. So brand awareness, yes, but you can also look at share of voice. But so social, I would use social listening, but then also have like a traditional market research firm like NEPA, Kantar, because then you can also have, you can look at the brand funnel, like how many actually are aware of us, and then you can go until like down to actually purchase. So I think today I would absolutely combine, and that's what I'm doing, market research and social listening, because then you can have really a holistic view. But yeah, if you're looking at market research, you need to have a market research firm that they have a really high quality of the data, because there are a lot of survey data, and they are just, scratching in the same pool of people. So they need to have fresh, panelists in the survey.
You can listen to a podcast that is called Data Skeptic as well, because right now they have a season on measurement and surveys. So that's a really good podcast.
We need to start wrapping up a little bit, but there are also a few questions about more shopping experience. I would say that came in when we talked about social shopping in the beginning, and maybe this is for Pino. Do you have an example of how you have adapted the physical store experience so it corresponds to the online experience?
We work quite a lot with like unified commerce. We try to we don't see them as two channels. Makes sound strange, but we try to see them as it's one customer, and the one channel should support the other. So depending on where the question actually comes from, we actually work with online returns and so on together with store, picking up things, leaving them to send them back and so on, changing things. That's one way. We try to use guides and so on online to make it easier for you to buy your running shoes in store and so on. So we're working, elaborating on more and more tools to make the customer experience in store much more digital, I would say. And we have something called RFID. Time is short now, but that's fantastic. Look it up. This makes quite a lot to your customer journey in store.
Repeat it. What was it?
RFID.
RFID.
It's a way of tagging the clothes and so on, so you can follow them.
Ah, it's
Cool.
like omni-channel tracking.
Yeah. Okay, so one last question on this also. Will social media and social shopping eliminate the need for a website in some industries? What do you think? Is it yes or no?
When the purchase funnel goes from the entire funnel into a web page and everything, and it closes down to the impulse buy, and you can buy it then and there with that kind of card that you have on that social media, definitely.
And I think it's different. Like I would also say yes, but I think the website is still really important for branding and storytelling and really telling your story. So I think both, but it's interesting to see where in the brand funnel from awareness to purchase.
I would say no. I would say if the web shop actually supports the customer journey in store, it's one customer journey. Then
it's
it's
an
no.
omni-channel.
It's an omni-channel.
Of course.
Nice. That was a nice wrap up.
Hmm.
It's all omni, holistic.
Yeah.
One
Unified.
exactly,
Yeah.
unified. Good. Okay, so with that said, thank you so much for listening in. As I said, we have recorded everything and we will share it afterwards. And also don't miss out on the Meltwater report that we will share in the QR code here afterwards. Thank you, and thank you guys.
Thank you.